At the Okoli Law Group, we specialize in producing justice. If you or a loved one in the Atlanta metro area is facing serious criminal charges, then you need serious legal representation.
The Okoli Law Group is here for you. The Okoli Law Group is here for us.
The Okoli Law Group, serious legal representation.
Really love this brand because first off, the products are quality. I have amazing hydration. You guys can see the shine. You guys can see the definition.
Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining. Do me a favor. Hit that like button. You guys know what to do. Hit the like button. Make sure you share and make sure you subscribe as well. I greatly appreciate it. You know I love you all. I appreciate all of the support over the years. It really means a lot. Someone's in the chat room. Juanita. Hey, Juanita, hit me up. In fact, I'm going to text you. Sierra Leone. I don't know if you got your Guinea-Bissau citizenship yet, but Sierra Leone, they've opened it up to more DNA testing companies. So if you're still interested in getting your citizenship, I think you had Ancestry.com or 23andMe or something. So one of those companies. So if you're still interested, let me stretch. If you're still interested in getting your citizenship, just let me know, because they've changed the rules for the better. If you what's that? They've changed the rules for the better. So basically, the major changes are they're accepting more DNA companies. So Ancestry.com, 23andMe, Ancestry.com, AfricanAncestry.com, and it is either CRI or CSI. On the paperwork I received, it says CSI, but I think the company's CRI. But I know everyone, primarily, the majority of people have taken Ancestry.com or 23andMe even more than African Ancestry. So yeah. No, so for the most part on Ancestry or 23andMe, just send me your results if it points to Sierra Leone, or they're even saying West Africa. But we have all those. The CRI. Yeah. See, on the paperwork it says CSI, but I believe it's CRI. But just send me what you got. And we'll take it from there. So with that being said, got a couple of announcements. Announcement number one, we are rolling to Sierra Leone. We are rolling to Sierra Leone. That is going to be April 20th through May 4th. April 20th through May 4th. If you have any obligations during that period, just go ahead and take vacation if you're wanting to come. So visit donfo.africa, but I will be arranging a trip to Sierra Leone. Sia, go ahead and hit me up. I don't know, Sia, when you say you're part Mende people, if that's via DNA or if you're like Mende. But go ahead and visit donfo.africa. I'm updating the site right now, the itinerary for Sierra Leone as we speak, but April 20th through May 4th. And the new rule changes are as follows. Again, they're accepting more DNA tests, but you have to come twice and you have to wait a year. So if you come in April, you won't get your passport to the following April. If you come in December, so there's going to be two trips, one in April, another in December. See, you're eligible for citizenship. Hit me up, guys. Visit donfo.africa. Go to donfo.africa. Send me a message and make sure you include your phone number, because I know a lot of you guys have a lot of questions, which is fine, and it's just easier for me to call you and give you your answers versus sending long emails. So visit donfo.africa. Hit me up, include your phone number, and I'll respond back. So you have to come twice. The first time you come is to get familiarized with the country. So to visit the country, you have to use a licensed tour operator, which Donfo is a licensed tour operator. And then the second time, when you come, that's when you get sworn in. So every April and December, except for this April. So this April coming up, no one's getting passports. Come December, the group that I took this past November, they're getting their passports in December. And then if you want to come to December to start the process, you can as well, but you won't get your passport to December 2026. The group that comes with me in April of 2025, you're not getting your passports to April of 2026. So that's how the new process works. You got to wait a year, but they open it up to more DNA companies, which is cool. I know at one time African Ancestry had an MOU with the tourism, the Ministry of Tourism of Sierra Leone, but I don't know what happened. You know, I don't know what happened, but anyways, they're now accepting more DNA tests, so you could qualify for citizenship. So visit donfo.africa, send me an email, include your phone number, and I'll holla back. Shout out to G5. Thank you for the $9.99 holla. And listen, that is gonna go towards the beard fund, guys. Y'all was making fun of me about my beard because you know it's like so. Listen, it's almost there. It's about to connect. I've been using my juices and berries, and the beard is about to connect. And y'all was laughing in the chat because when I first started my beard journey, I was like right back here. It's filling in. It's creeping on in. All right, it's creeping all in. So it's gonna connect soon. And y'all haters that was in the chat saying it won't connect, y'all got to eat crow. So G5, that $9.99 is going towards the juices and berries fund for my beard. I appreciate you. Thank you, G5, because it's filling in. It's coming. It's about to connect. And y'all was laughing because when I first started in October, you know, it was like back here. But now it's like right here. It's coming in. Little hairs is popping up. So it's coming. So G5, I appreciate you. The $9.99 is going towards the strategic juices and berries reserve fund for the beard. I appreciate you. We love you. Okay, let me get back to the announcements. So we're doing, and also too, they raised the fee that you have to pay to the government. So first it was just $250, now it's $600, and that $600 goes directly to the government to process your documents and all that other stuff. So I am taking a group. I'll be arranging for a group to go in April. And so if you're interested, please visit donfo.africa. Also, we are rolling. Senegal is full. So I'm taking a group to Senegal in May for the Jazz Festival. That's full. Have some openings still for the Oshun Festival in August. So if you're interested in rolling to Nigeria, have some spots left. Have some spots left for Zanzibar in September. And I have some spots left for Namibia and South Africa in November. So we're going to do both countries in one go. We're going to start off in Namibia. Then we're going to head over to Cape Town. That's going to be in November 7th through the 18th. So if you're interested in joining us, please visit donfo.africa to learn more. And we got you. Somebody just put in the chat, Wilders, I didn't know the depth of how much of our tax dollars are used to employ citizens with other countries. I didn't either. I had no clue. I had absolutely no clue. But I'm gonna say this: the situation in Kenya, again, I've been saying it. The government of Kenya should be responsible for the social services of Kenya. Period. And with this shakeup with USAID, and me working in corporate America, we were always taught there's no such thing as job security. Again, we were always taught there's no such thing as job security. At any moment, your department could be gone, fired, let go, laid off. You don't perform, you get laid off, let go. Even if you perform, you get let go. But looking at these numbers in regards to USAID and the amount of people they employed in Kenya, I'm just like, this is on the U.S. the U.S. taxpayers, they're flipping the bill. And I'm like, all these jobs here in America that can be created here in America, why is the focus on developing countries? And nothing against developing countries. Y'all know I spend a lot of time. I love my developing countries. But it shouldn't be the responsibility of the U.S. tax dollar. These governments got the money. Candace, I'm going to get into that, Candace. They used to say government jobs are secure, but here we are. Candace, I'm going to get into that. I used to have these conversations with so I'm from California. I'm from Sacramento, California, born and raised. Sacramento is the capital of California. I know a lot of y'all haters will say LA, but no, it's Sacramento. So with all that being said, all of the state jobs primarily are in Sacramento. And so growing up in Sacramento, you were taught, go to school and you get you a good, stable, secure state job. You can get you a cool, stable Fed job. Those days are over. And I think a lot of my state employed and Fed employed brothers and sisters thought that they were exempt from the reality of corporate America, where, corporate America manager could just walk in and say, hey, all y'all gone. Sorry. No warning, no nothing. They could pull the rug from right under you. And I think a lot of and I hate it for them, I think a lot of my Fed, state, and USAID employees are getting the message. You got a new CEO in town. His name is Donald Trump. And he's going through the numbers. And he's saying, okay, this amount of money is going through. I think I read somewhere where like $10 million of our taxpayer dollars were going towards trans research on mice. It was something crazy. Like, I'm not making this up. Like $10 million. What's RTO? What's RTO? I don't know what RTO is. Like I want to say like $10 million of taxpayer dollars who were returned to office today. Yeah, and I'll get into that too. But like $10 million of taxpayer dollars are going towards research on transgender mice. I'm just like, what? Huh? So yeah, it's crazy. And I don't think I don't think that in particular I think that did have something to do with USAID, but still. USA was also spending millions promoting LGBTQ in Jamaica and doing abortions in Mozambique. Yeah, it's just why? Why? Yeah, let me pull this up, man. This is crazy. Transgender mice. Hold on. Here we go. Let me pull this up.
The Subcommittee on Cybersecurity, Information Technology, and Government Innovation will now come to order and welcome a good afternoon. Without objection, the chair may declare a recess at any time. I recognize myself for the purpose of making an opening statement. Good afternoon. Late last year, the White Coat Waste Project exposed more than $10 million in taxpayer funds that were spent creating transgender mice, rats, and monkeys. These DEI grants funded painful and deadly transgender experiments that forced lab animals to undergo invasive surgeries and hormone therapies at universities across the country. For example, the Biden-Harris administration spent $2.5 million taxpayer dollars, $2.5 million taxpayer dollars to study the fertility of transgender mice. Let that sink in. We spent over $2 million studying the fertility of transgender mice. $1.1 million was spent to find out if female rats receiving testosterone therapies to mimic transgender men were more likely to overdose on a party drug, commonly used in the LGBTQ community to induce drug-fueled what's called, quote, chemsex. I asked my staff what was chemsex and the chemical, and I guess it's something called GHB, which is a date rape drug, and also a drug that's used recreationally. So we spent over $1 million to find out if female rats receiving testosterone therapy were more likely to overdose on a date rape drug. Like, that's what your taxpayer dollars were being spent on. Federal funds were also used to forcibly transition male monkeys to see if hormone therapy made them more susceptible to HIV. Now, I didn't know this until recently, but monkeys cannot be infected with HIV. Yet this federally funded experiment forced them to take hormone-altering drugs to study a virus they cannot have. The Biden-Harris administration was so eager to propagate their radical gender ideology across all facets of American society that they were surgically mutating animal genitals. Like, taxpayer money went to that. So my question is, were they castrating mice, castrating monkeys? Were they getting double mastectomies? The language that they used in many of these experiments were, quote, gender affirming care, which I learned about 3 years ago what that meant. I thought that was maybe just some hormones or something something like that. But apparently gender affirming care is actually surgical mutilation of genitals. And apparently it's not just humans they're doing it to. We were doing it with taxpayer dollars to animals. It's well known that because of the differences between animal and human biology, animal testing frequently does not produce results relevant for humans. In fact, 90% of novel drugs that are successful in animal tests fail in human clinical trials. Today's scientific questions are so complex that we have well surpassed a time where it is useful or appropriate to rely on inhumane animal experiments to answer them. Recently developed technological tools can more accurately model human biology and identify solutions that are more useful for human patients. But it is often the federal bureaucracy that prevents these new technologies from being used. Instead of adequately investing in these innovative alternatives, the federal government has continued to funnel taxpayer dollars towards cruel animal experiments. Today, most of the 27 NIH institutes and centers conduct or support animal testing, as does the Food and Drug Administration, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the Department of Veterans Affairs, the Department of Defense, and countless other agencies. We have some beagle puppies here with us today. Beagle puppies have gone through some of the worst medical experiments. I mean, drugging them with cocaine, having insects eat at them and their bodies so much until they die, drugging them until they die. These are God's creatures and they're beautiful, and you can see them sitting in the front row today. So we thank the folks who are here and brought these beautiful beagle puppies here today. In fact, the U.S. government spends in excess of $20 billion a year conducting experiments on animals. The White Coat Waste Project found in 2021 that the NIH, the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, a component of NIH at the time, ran by Dr. Fauci, spent $1.68 million force feeding toxic drugs to beagle puppies between 6 and 8 months old before dissecting and killing them. The conversation we're having today is important. In 2022, due to public criticism lobbied against Fauci's NIAID by me and other members of Congress, another $1.8 million experiment to abuse beagle puppies in various drug tests was canceled. So I want to thank the work of White Coat Waste and everyone in the room today, others who've been on the forefront of this fight to end the sick and cruel and barbaric testing of animals today. Thanks to one of our witnesses, Justin Goodman of White Coat Waste. We have in the audience, I already know the beagles are here. The beagles are a reminder of the real cost of animal experimentation. So I'm looking forward to this conversation this afternoon regarding wasteful government spending on animal cruelty. And I also want to say, before I yield over to the ranking member for her opening statement, that this is a nonpartisan issue.
Yeah, there it is. Guys, hit the like button again. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. But yeah, that's where your money's going. Wanted to pull this up real quick. I just had this pulled up. Give me a second. Man, I just literally had this pulled up. What did I do to it? But yeah, that's where your tax dollars are going, and they're cleaning it up. And for some reason, people are upset. Like, people are upset with them going through the books and saying, "Hey, look, like, people are upset with them going through the books and cutting waste." So, Elvis, should we spend $10 million on the study of the fertility of transgender mice? Oh, here we go. Here it goes. Well, here's one of the videos. Here's one of the videos.
Let's shift our focus now to the deepening agony of thousands of workers of organizations that have been hit hard by the stop work order by the US government, an order that has also left thousands of beneficiaries of critical programs funded by the US government in uncertainty. Many affected non-governmental organizations have been forced to send workers on compulsory unpaid leave, while others have opted to close shop entirely. And as Afin Achengoma reports, health stakeholders are emphasizing the need for domestic health financing to break the dependency on donor funding for critical programs.
Shock and uncertainty has gripped the health sector as the realities of the U.S. funding freezes sinks the stop work order signed by U.S. President Donald Trump on his first day back in office temporarily suspended all U.S. foreign assistance programs for 90 days, pending reviews to determine whether they are aligned with his policy goals. A directive that has left many local government and non-governmental organizations that run programs supported by the U.S. cash-strapped and struggling to stay afloat. Kisii County government, for instance, has suspended all US-funded activities and sent over 500 workers home with the January 2025 salaries only. The letter by the county director of public health and sanitation directed the workers to hand over and wait for further guidance.
Zile hospitali ambazo hawa wafanyikazi walikuwa wanafanya kazi, tumefanya mipango ya kuwatuma wafanyikazi wengine pale. Ndiyo sababu shughuli zote za kiafya sisiweze kuharibika kwa vyovyote pile.
Homa Bay County government has also asked staff of the affected programs to hand over as they implement the order. In Kisumu County, HIV care and treatment services has been integrated with routine healthcare services in all level 2 and level 3 facilities. The county is phasing out standalone HIV comprehensive care centers. USAID has also announced that all workers under the Fahari ya Jamii project proceed on compulsory 3-month unpaid leave effective 1st of February 2025. The directive affects over 700 personnel operating under the program run through the University of Nairobi in Kajiado and Nairobi counties. The 4.2 billion shillings project, which was in its 4th year, was scheduled to end in May next year. Over 72,000 patients who were on ARVs have been adversely affected with the abrupt closure of over 150 clinics, which were run in collaboration with the county governments. The impact goes beyond the health sector, as Faith Ndungu, the advocacy manager at the Health NGOs Network, explains.
The magnitude from the health sector, we can say we are feeling it more because these are lives, these are people. But also other sectors, agriculture, research, even youth empowerment. Many of the fellowships which are there to strengthen and build the capacity of many different people is actually affected as we speak.
She insists that the discussion on donor transition plans is pertinent to avoid such knee-jerk disruptions.
When the abrupt decision has been made, we are talking of 1 million plus people living with HIV. We are talking of how many children. So at least the humane way to go about it is to have a conversation with the countries and tell them that in the next 5 years, in the next 3 months, we are going to be changing strategy. We are going to be transiting from your country. How prepared are you?
Considering the shrinking donor funding space, she emphasizes the need for domestic health financing to ensure sustainability.
The silver lining in a sad situation is that it's our wake-up call. It's our wake-up call to ask ourselves, when we have the LM 2019 declaration, why haven't we invested in health as was envisioned in that document by our leaders? When we fund our healthcare more, then we're in more control. If a donor for one reason or another may not honor their commitment, we will not be in a crisis.
Safin Aching Oma, Citizen TV.
Did you know that bank?
This is the Star News Brief. I'm Joely Regi. Fresh concerns are being raised about multiple bursaries doling out billions of shillings to learners, but which are largely unknown to Kenyans. The Public Service Commission has raised the red flag over disparities in the allocation of some of the funds. At the center of the scrutiny is the 2.5 billion shilling Elimu Scholarship Fund run by the Ministry of Education. Apart from questioning how the beneficiaries of the funds were identified, the PSC says many Kenyans are unaware of the existence of the bursary and how to apply for financial assistance. The PSC has also raised issues with the disbursement of the Presidential Secondary School Bursary, a kitty that was created to enhance secondary school enrollment, attendance and completion by orphans and vulnerable children. Get a copy of the Star e-paper for only 40 shillings by logging on to www.mgazzetti.com. It is a wait-and-see situation for Kenyans living in the troubled Democratic Republic of Congo as various areas remain on edge. Though the South...
We get the idea that, but it should be the responsibility of, so these jobs are lost. it should be the responsibility of the Kenyan government to fill in. The money's there. They got the money. The Kenyan government has the money. They need to fill in and step up. Guys, links in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the conversation, you're more than welcome to call in and add to the conversation. Again, link is in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the conversation, you're more than welcome to call in and add to the conversation. Click on the link and call in. But yeah, it should be the government of Kenya's responsibility to fill in. We'll wait one more minute. If no one calls in, we'll go ahead and log out. All right, guys, everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror, search for Huru. Peace.